Oh, okay, we have call to order, April 23rd, Tuesday, 2024. We have regrets tonight from trustee Sharker. He won't be with us tonight. And we have with us on Zoom, trustee Anderson. Treaty land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that we are signatories of Treaty 5 and that we reside in the traditional territory of the Nisichawayasi Cree Nation. The school district of Mystery Lake is located in the community of Thompson in the province of Manitoba. Manitoba is located on the traditional and ancestral lands of the Niueto and Innu Cree, Denisulin, Dene, Métis, Inuit, Anishinaabe, Oji Cree, Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, and Dakota Oyata Dakota nations. The school district of Mystery Lake remains committed to honoring treaties in the spirit of truth and reconciliation. We are all treaty people. Can we have someone move that we accept the agenda for tonight? Trustee Lawson, second. Trustee Humby, all those in favor?
Aye.
Trustee Anderson?
Yeah.
Okay, carried. Item number 5, adoption of the minutes for tonight. We have in front of us the minutes for April 9th, 2024. Did we talk about revising these minutes?
After you
Okay, can I have someone move that we adopt the minutes from last meeting? Trustee Lawson, second. Vice Chair? What was it?
I'd like to request a
Yep.
change to 13.2 under Education Program Committee to just remove trustee Humby advised. Next meeting will be April 23rd at 5, as I wasn't present.
She wasn't present.
I was actually, that's cool.
That was
And I
you
wrote
said that?
down exactly what Lori said. Abby said that. So that's where the confusion lied.
So we have that corrected? It's all good?
The amendment?
Okay. All those in favor of accepting the amendment and the adoption of the minutes from last meeting?
Aye.
Trustee Anderson?
Aye.
Okay, carried. Okay, we have tonight a delegation and a presentation. We have Canada-wide Science Fair. Westwood grade 8 student Japrit Rekmo will be presenting his project that is qualified for the Canada-wide Science Fair being held in Ottawa, May 25th through June 1st. We have with us Japjit. How are we doing?
Good.
Good. The principal like to
You did very well. That's okay. I just came here to support him.
Good evening, everyone. So my name is Jackie, and this is my project about sound waves. So my question was, through which medium does the sound travel the fastest? So solids or liquids, gas or vacuum? So my hypothesis was, I think the sound will travel faster and louder through solids because the particles are very tightly packed together. So the sound can just pass through the vibration. And it doesn't take for the particles that long to travel to each other so they can pass on the sound. And I think the sound will travel the slowest in the vacuum because there's no medium for the sound to travel to. And then my abstract was, the objective of this experiment is to test whether or not sound travels faster in solid, liquid, gas, or vacuum. And my results are that sound travels the fastest in solids because the particles are very tightly packed together. So yeah, my procedure was for the solid experience. So this is a solid telephone. So this is a string and it's a solid. So for testing this, I put a speaker in one of the cups and then stretch the string so it's solid so the sound can travel through it. And then after I put the speaker in this cup, and I got a control variable from here 4 meters away up to the decibel meter. So decibel meter is something that measures the speed of sound or the decibel level of the sound. So after I stretched this, the speaker is in here and my decibel meter was 4 meters away. I put an input of 436 hertz. And after I started the sound and measured with the decibel meter, my output was 436 hertz again. And then I did the same process 4 more times, and the output 4 more times, and then I took the average of those results. So my input was 436 hertz for the solids, and then the output was 436.8. So that we can see that sound travels fast in solids. And then if you want to try, then you can put one in the ear and I can speak through one. You'll hear me pretty loud and the sound will travel fast. So you can test it out.
That's pretty cool.
When I was young, they just called that the telephone.
Your place is
So next process, I have the liquids. So for liquids, I have the same input, 436 hertz. So for liquids, I filled a bucket with water, and then I put the speaker in it, and then I measured a 4-meter distance, which is a controlled variable from the speaker, and then I turned on my decimal meter. And if the speaker's in the liquids, and I measured from outside 4 meters away, and then these were my outputs for the liquid. So if my input was 436 hertz, then my output became 102 hertz. So that we can see sound travels less fast in liquids. And here I also have a demonstration. So I've got a steel bowl in this water and a spoon. And then when I put this steel bowl in the bucket of water, you can hear it. You can hear it coming out of the liquid. So that means sound can travel through a liquid. And then if I knock it outside, you can hear it pretty loud. Because it's a solid, the sound traveling through air. But if I put this in the liquid, you cannot hear it that loud. Next, I have the gas process. For the gas process, I took the speaker and played the same hertz again, 436, and then my same distance of 4 meters away. And then when I put the decibel meter, I got these outputs, and then I took the average, and average was 57.8 hertz. So that we can see sound travels slow in there. So here's a graph of solids traveling the fastest, liquid the second fastest, gas the third fastest. And then here I have a vacuum. So this is a speaker in there, and then I'll play some music in it. So you can hear this right now through the gas. But I'm going to take all the air out and create a vacuum in there. Then you won't hear anything.
Man, I'm just surprised at how you figured out how to put it into a simple vacuum. That's so cool.
Now when the gas turns and goes in and back again, the sound's going to come up again.
Wow, that is cool.
That's pretty cool.
That is so neat.
So for the vacuum process, I made
I thought you were
the...
going to use some fancy machine.
So I took the arrow and got 4 meters away, and then I measured with the decibel meter. I got 6 hertz, 2 hertz, 0 hertz, 3 hertz, and 5 hertz. And even those hertz, 6 hertz, 5 hertz, those were I think the other sounds that were coming from the outside. So like if it was like a dead silence, and if I was to measure this would probably go on 0 hertz because you can't hear it. So my results were that the sound of speed is the fastest through solids, second fastest through liquids, third fastest through gas, and the lowest in vacuums. So we know that sound travels in a wave. So here's a wave demonstration of a sound wave. So this is my clock. So this represents 1 second. So when this spins around and comes back here, that's 1 second. And starting at this point, this is the starting of the wave, and this is the end of the wave. So from here to here, that's called a one wave. So I represented here, so the number of wave cycles per second equals to the frequency. So in here I chose 1 wave per second. So the frequency here would be 1 hertz. So when I start spinning this, the time starts and the wave starts. When the 1 second completes, the wave completes. So 1 second completed, the wave completed. So that's 1 wave per second. So that's now 1 hertz. And my conclusion is that speed, the sound of speed is the fastest in liquids and slowest in vacuums.
Any questions? Because he's very good at answering.
Yeah, I'm scared to ask.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So if we were to extrapolate this and do a test in outer space,
In the space?
yeah, let's say we're outside of the moon,
Yeah.
would I be able to hear myself scream or not?
No, because then the space is a vacuum.
Okay.
So you can't hear each other in a vacuum. So if you wonder how astronauts communicate in space, they use like walkie-talkies. So they use radio waves. Because the radio waves don't need a medium to travel. They can travel through a vacuum. And even if, I got feedback and I'm extending my project. So for the Canada White Transfer, to extend my project, I'm doing if the astronauts' communication systems shut down, if their radio waves shut down, how can they communicate? So I'm trying to make a solid, so you can hear the sound in solid. So I'm trying to make a communication system that astronauts can hear each other. Wow.
Pretty good answer.
Oh, yeah.
I think you
Do you
were
want to come to
schooled.
UCN in about 6 years?
So I was gonna ask you what's next, but I think you just answered that, so. Yeah. Now, my question with your solid, so if that string isn't tight, do you get the same result or it has to be tight?
It has to be tight because when it's not tight, the particles are not in their correct shape.
Gotcha. That was what I was
So it's-
thinking, but I just wanted to confirm.
So the actual density then makes the difference in
Yeah.
the solid.
Very cool.
And in gases, the molecules are far spread apart.
Yeah.
So when the sound travels from one particle to the other, it takes time for them to travel to the other particle. So that time makes the speed slower. But in solids, as we know, the particles are close but tightly packed together. So it takes the particles to travel less time to travel to the other particle to pass on the sound.
So when you decided that you were going to put together your project for the science fair, what made you go, this is my thought? Where did your line of thought come from?
So I was always curious about sound when I was younger. So I would ask everyone, like, well, when we see fireworks, why do we see the light first and hear the sound after the fireworks? I was always curious about sounds. So this is how I came. So I turned my curiosity into an experiment.
Very cool.
Excellent. Very
Very
good.
cool. Yeah. Now, if you go into a freezer and you were to do this experiment or go out into like plus 30 weather outside and do the experiment, would it change?
Yeah, so the speed of sound also depends on the weather. So the temperature. So if the temperature is colder, the sound's going to travel slow. And if the temperature is higher, it's warmer, then the sound will travel faster.
Man, that's very cool. Yeah. I knew that, but I just wanted to see.
You're not stumping him.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Yeah. Good for you. Good for you.
How we got temperature, how about altitude? If you're closer to the Earth versus if you're by the clouds.
Yeah, so it changes because like on the Earth we have atmosphere, and there's more gas on the Earth. So if we're trying to hear each other and just like talk to each other in the clouds, it would be hard to hear each other. It would be hard to hear each other because there's less air up in the clouds.
I can attest that because in Hawaii, I went to that mountain
Yeah.
and my wife was yelling at me to get out of the car and come to the top of the mountain when it was like 5 degrees out and I could barely hear. It was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or you were
You were just
Wow. Yeah.
Just watching this is
The pictures were beautiful. Let me tell you. Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah. Mom, Dad, you must be very proud. Yes. Yes, very cool.
Trustee Anderson, do you want to ask a question?
No, I didn't. I actually was the judge for the science fair, so I got to talk to him firsthand. He answered all my questions, and it was really awesome. And I just want to wish you good luck,
Thank you.
and you're going to do great.
Yeah, do we have a Mystery Lake t-shirt or sweater or something?
I'll get him hooked up.
Yeah, we gotta, if he's gonna represent, he's gonna do it in style.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, can we have a group?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Excellent job.
The vacuum thing is weird.
Yeah.
That was very cool.
You're gonna go home and play with that now.
Well, I'm gonna go home and just impress the heck out of my 5-year-old. Yeah.
Little things that impress them so.
I can see he's the son of proud parents. You have a good boy.
Also the Firefox School Board, we have a King School Board too.
Super. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Good night.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Take care. Item number 7, business from previous board meeting, board evaluations. We still have to meet. That's still pending. That's still tabled for
Our next policy.
our next policy, which will be in next week, is it? Or April 30th. Next week.
No, sorry, April 29th?
29.
30th.
It's
29.
Okay, next week. Okay. Okay. Item number 8, report from the superintendent of human resources and policy.
Okay, I have the postings of our current vacancies. We do have some positions that have been awarded. I don't want to jinx myself, but staffing is not quite as dire as it probably was last year at this time. But that being said, yes, I want to jinx myself. I was in attendance at a number of district and community events that I've listed. Human Resources Initiative, it says, met with the leadership team and reviewed the administrative procedures. That was supposed to happen on Friday, so I will be meeting with them to review the following administrative procedures. I did meet with the TTA Mental Health Committee to review the results of the Thompson Teachers Association's mental health survey. I think there were about 87 respondents out of a possible like 250. The common themes that emerged through the survey were stress levels were increasing within the teaching profession because of increasing demands being placed on the profession, particularly those that are new to the profession. Where else? I lost my train of thought here. Okay. With regards to complex student behaviors, students' mental health needs, and attendance and family issues. There was an overarching feeling from the respondents that the lack of supports and resources are contributing to some of these stress levels in teachers. I explained that the district did have some new initiatives that I believed would help in improving the stress levels, including off-campus alternative programming, newly created district mental health coordinator position, and clearly written procedures regarding student attendance. I also made a commitment to develop a new teacher support program for the district, and an ad hoc committee has already been established, and our first meeting will be sometime in early May. On that committee will be a couple of administrators, a couple of members from the TTA Mental Health Committee, as well as a couple of new teachers. And we've got some work underway, just doing some research of what some of the other school divisions are doing. I know at one time in the district we did have a half-time position, was referred to as a new teacher mentor position. Here's the rub with that, is that means that you need somebody who's very experienced to help mentor new teachers, and that means pulling somebody very experienced out of a classroom at present, where we're having a difficult time filling all the vacancies that we have in a classroom. So we're going to see if we can come up with something innovative. And there may be some requirements from you folks with regards to funding. It won't be in addition to. I think I could probably reimagine some of the funds within my portfolio with regards to the intern program this year is budgeted for next year as well. We don't spend a lot of that money because we do a lot of the in-servicing in-house, and we do it a lot in the evening, so there's not a lot of cost to that particular program, and it's wrapping up. There'll be no PD for the interns next year, so maybe we can allocate some of that money towards the new teacher mentorship program. I have some resignations and retirements. Cameron Flamond has submitted his letter of resignation effective June 30th, 2024. Mr. Flamond has been employed with the district since 2018 and is resigning from his position as a junior high teacher at Wapanuck. Chelsea Flamond has submitted her letter of resignation effective June 30th, 2024. She's been employed with the district since 2018 and is resigning from her position as a resource teacher at Wapanuck. Stacey Serrars has submitted her letter of resignation effective June 30th, 2024. Ms. Serrars has been employed with the district since 2006. During her time with the district, she's worked as a teacher at Burntwood and is resigning from her position as a business ed teacher at Artie Parker. Monica Monroe has submitted her letter of retirement effective June 30th, 2024. Ms. Monroe started in the district in '94. She resigned to relocate with her husband and then returned in 2008. She spent the entirety of her 25 years of service with the district teaching in the phys ed department at Artie Parker. Rob Fisher has submitted his letter of retirement effective June 30th, 2024. Mr. Fisher has worked in the district since 2002. During his career, he worked as an English teacher at Artie Parker, the coordinator of curricular at the school board office, the principal at Riverside, and the principal of Artie Parker. He's retiring from the district while away on secondment with the Council of School Leaders. So on behalf of the school district of Mystery Lake, I just want to take this opportunity to wish our retirees and those that are moving on to other employment opportunities all the best.
We thank you for your service.
That's everything. Are there any questions?
Yes.
So the mental health survey in the committee, I was going to ask what are we doing, but you've answered that, and I guess the one question I don't want to make it seem like our principals aren't doing or our assistant vice principals aren't doing a lot, but is that not part of their job description as well, to support and get into the classroom with our new principal or with our new teachers?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there would definitely be that component. Principals, vice principals. I mean, it's a lot of it's evaluating, because I mean they would all go through a formative summative evaluation. So I mean, I think sometimes
is that happening?
Oh yeah, it's definitely happening. I think sometimes what happens is when newer teachers are struggling, they perhaps are reluctant to go to their administrators because they don't want their administrators thinking that they're not doing a good job or that they can't handle the job, right? Especially when you're in a situation where you're being you're being evaluated. So, I mean, I think it's more of a support system amongst each other, like maybe a senior teacher. And again, there are some schools, like for example, Deerwood, where there's only one grade of everything. Very often there was always a natural mentorship program with your grade partner, right? So the two grade 1 teachers, the two grade. So we're going to try to formalize that. That's part of because again, I think that's what happens when they struggle. They're reluctant a little bit to go to their administrators because they don't want to seem. Yes, exactly. It's like nobody, wants to. So.
Will the principals be part of those ad hoc committees?
I do have 2 administrators on the committee as well. So it's something that we're going to do as a district. So again, there's two school administrators, myself, the wellness, 2 members or 1 member for the wellness committee. Well, 2 new teachers are actually on the wellness committee as well. Yeah, and we're just going to kind of do an overview of some of the supports that we have that maybe aren't being utilized to the capacity they could be.
It's just that culture, right? I'm not speaking that cultures are bad. It's just if the only time you ever see a principal or a superintendent is when you're in trouble, right. You never want to see those people, right? Yeah. So if the culture is, hey, I'm just dropping in.
Is that what your wife is saying?
No. But if it's just part of the culture where a principal can walk into a classroom, hey, do you need my help, or whatever the case may be, then I think the principal could be more in those rooms, right? Because they're or not the staff feel more welcome to go to their principal or VP and say, hey, like I'm struggling, So yeah, cool.
I think with this revised school calendar too, if they meet at the grade level cohorts once every 2 months, that might help alleviate some of the mental health.
Yes, that was.
I mean that.
I forgot to.
That fits into the formula.
No, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it fits beautifully into that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Really, they're looking for times to
Collaborate
a little more, and get ideas from other people who teach the same subject areas that they do.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Cool.
Okay.
Super. Trustee Anderson, do you have a question?
Yes.
I just wanted to tell you a fun little fact. Okay. Monica Monroe taught me.
Oh.
Myself as well.
Yeah.
Me too.
Okay, yeah. Not me. Yeah, there aren't too many left that are in Parker. There are a couple that were there when I was there, but yeah.
Super. Item number 9, Superintendent of Educational Services and Programming Report.
Provided my reports. Just going to highlight a few things. I know it was brought up at the last board meeting, questions around the nutrition plan. So the district has received or will receive $1.156 million for next year's nutrition plan. Each community school will receive an additional $120,000 per school. And 65% of the funds must be spent on food and beverage. I've met with the principals. We've gone through the requirements for the planning. And Norris and I have done one school tour for the upgrades and equipment. Plans need to be submitted to the province by May 1st for approval. And once they approve our plans, then we can start making some of the changes that are required. The off-campus junior high program position has been advertised. We will be doing interviews in the very near future. And I know that Trustee Humby is going to speak to that a little bit later, so I'll leave that. The Brentwood Community Connector hosted the integrated services meeting, so that's with our 3 community schools and our partners in the community. Each agency went through their updates, as well as each school shared what's been going on in the schools. The information exchange is very helpful for community events and partnerships. Regional Health provided youth support information on a placemat, of which I was going to bring one tonight. We're going to have them laminated. I know they're going out at the AHEC conference, but we're also going to put them in common spaces in the school so students have access to that information. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of information. I'll grab one.
A placemat that you eat at?
But they're like for posters.
Oh, for posters.
Yeah, so it's got all sorts of information. Thought I had brought one, but I didn't. Let's see. So yeah, what's happening this Saturday is the spring fling for our community school families. So each school is eligible to have 50 students and families there. It's going to be hosted at Brentwood School. Tonight's full moon ceremony is happening with our community schools. And again, Brentwood is hosting that. We're also going to be doing a family ribbon skirt on May 8th, I believe it's the Monday. So our families have skirts for attending events. There's an engagement session that's focusing on inclusivity and equity in Manitoba's education system. So it's on May 7th. It's being sponsored by MESL, but it's being hosted by the Indigenous Strategy Alliance. And the session is designed to gather insight from individuals with deep knowledge of public education experiences and lived experiences. So we were invited to send a team of 5. We have our team of 5. And then we were invited to send 5 students. We have our 5 students. The students were for grades 9 to 12. The students' names that I received were grades 7 and 8. So I called up the gal, Joanna, and said, is it okay if our students that are in grade 7 and 8 attend the session? She said, absolutely. And then she asked if I had anybody else who would like to attend. So I've since submitted a few more names. So they'll be here. And that's being led by Rebecca Chartrand and Dwayne Brothers, who's a retired.
Will they be here in the building?
Nope. Location to be determined. So it's a full day. It's from 9 to 4:30. So they're just looking for some insight into.
Dwayne is a phenomenal speaker.
Is he coming up?
Yeah, Dwayne and Rebecca
Will
will
be
be.
in person?
Yeah, he's retired now, so this is his.
He was actually my superintendent.
Yeah.
Brian.
He retired out of Louis Riel School Division. Yeah. We're in the process of finalizing our MRLC, which is our Rural Learning Consortium. So that's a lot of our professional development. So we're going to continue with the instructional leadership. We're going to continue with numeracy and literacy, professional development. Something new for this year is the Trauma Informed Schools Network. They did secure a facilitator. So 5 of the networks will continue, or there'll be 5, 3 are continuation, 2 are new. So pretty grateful to the MRLC providing those services. And I think that Education and Programming heard the value of the MRLC tonight and during the presentation. Update, Parent Advisory Council, they are going to invite you to the next meeting. They didn't realize we were meeting tonight. Transition team met yesterday. Camp dates have all been set. The youth behavior forum is this Thursday at the Friendship Center. We have 100 students attending. That year-end tours are going to happen during exam week in the afternoons. Book club, we're hoping, is going to be on May 15th. We're just waiting for some confirmation on that. And off campus is going to be new this year. And we will also have our promotion dance, which is a district dance for grade 8s on June 26th. And upcoming events I have on the next page. That's my report.
Is that grade 8 dance, is that going to be at the same school again as last year, or is it going to rotate?
The plan is to have it at Artie Parker.
Oh, yeah.
Last year we had it at Westwood because Artie Parker was on exhibition. But the idea is to have the kids.
That was a nice night.
So Westwood is on backup if we're not able to use Artie Parker. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Okay, any questions for the superintendent?
I just want to clarify something. So you mentioned it was 160,000 for each community school over top of the 120. Sorry,
Yeah.
over top of the 1.1, or that's in.
It's 1.156
Yeah.
for the entire in total.
So
Yeah.
120 guaranteed goes to each community
Yeah.
school. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the breakdown was per pupil. I just took the population and
Oh, I thought I heard you say on top of. So I'm like, holy, that's a lot of Hiroshi we're getting. So yeah.
And it's per school, not just the community schools, I think, right? All schools are getting some extra money to
All
go
schools are
towards the
getting money.
nutrition program?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to clarify this. It is a universal program, so it should be available for all students. And it should be convenient for the students to be able to access.
100%,
Yeah. So that needs to be part of the plans.
And the 7 days is like we have enough. Like, so the plan is going to include the whole 1.156 million.
Yeah, and tonight, the Education and Programming Committee, I showed them the Excel spreadsheet that has to be filled out, so that'll get sent in. And there was a request from Mass that we asked for an extension because it's a very short period of time. And the response that we received back was that they also needed time to review and approve for next year. So time is tight, but you know what, we'll get it done. We don't want to hold up the process.
200 grand. It's not hard to spend $200,000. 1.1 million. It's pretty hard. Yeah,
Well,
so
the pressure actually is on the schools themselves because they're the ones designing their plans.
Sure.
It's just putting it together and sending it in.
I don't think they anticipated that the province would release all the money, like I thought, they incrementally, the whole pot, but so no. I mean, it's a great, tough situation to be in. Yeah, exactly. How to spend money is a great, how am I gonna spend this money is a great
we
job.
put the ask out and we can live with the answer. We'll make it work.
And sorry, one more thing.
Yeah.
I saw off campus somewhere, and I don't know if I'm confused with off campus or the junior high or the high school program. So I'm just gonna ask for both. How are those two programs going? I know we were waiting on the province for the high school program.
Yeah, well, no, it was for the location. They approved the location, so we've approved both programs. The junior high has already been advertised. Artie Parker is looking after their off-campus program. but the mature student program will be moving into that site.
And so is the high school, like, we were talking about the old mature, that's where the junior high is going, right? And then the junior high the mature is,
I'm hoping that's not a surprise to people.
to me, no, I'm just,
To other people, because I'm not sure if everybody affected has been notified of movement.
was,
Junior high program is a go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
We've advertised the position.
okay,
We're doing interviews next week.
Yeah.
The high school program, the high school's looking after that.
okay. And the
Yeah.
place that they were looking at is approved for them to go into by the province?
The space has been improved for programming.
Okay.
Have
Yeah.
we signed the lease?
Yes, we have.
Yay. Yes.
So it needs some improvement.
Oh, yes.
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 And that's obviously.
So yeah.
Yes. Which facilities is going to be super busy between nutrition program and that, plus the regular maintenance.
We have to see how the nutrition program rolls out because there's a lot of permitting if we're looking at commercial kitchens.
So obviously you've been talking with the high school, are they going into that site?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna have two programs in that site. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Right on.
Yeah, no, they're both a go.
Okay. Good news. And that'll start September.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, great.
Anybody else have a question? Okay, hearing none. Item number 10, Secretary Treasurer's Report.
I'm just letting you know you have high standards. Because last meeting, the report, man, I tell you.
It was riveting.
Yeah.
Absolutely riveting.
Circulated
It's
in the
available on video.
package were the expenditures that we're currently at for April 22nd. We're 75.51% through the school year. Our expenditures are reporting slightly higher than we're used to seeing because we're in the middle of preparing March 31st for the province, and there are some accruals that are included that will be reversed out when our statements are complete. But as of yesterday, year-to-date expenditures, $39,173,834, 84.5% through, which is 10% over our plan. But as I said, there's expenditures in there that will be reversed. I have also brought forward the expenditures for March 2024, and the associated check register has been circulated. Included in the check register, accounts payable, are payroll-related amounts of $703,602.59. Accounts payable of $2,865,073.51 were processed. Teacher payroll of $2,082,114.94, and support payroll of $1,255,001.74 were processed. I'll note that the support payroll had 3 payrolls through the month of March, which accounts for the additional funds. My recommendation is that the expenditures for March 2024 in the amount of $6,202,190.19 be approved.
Can I have someone move? Trustee Lawson, seconded Vice Chair. Any discussion before we vote? All those in favor? Trustee Anderson?
Aye.
Carried?
Great job.
Super. It wasn't quite as good as Trustee Lawson's last week, but pretty good.
Way more put together.
Okay, item number 11, new business. We have in front of us the school calendar for 2024-2025. The 2024-2025 school calendar has been developed in consultation with the senior administration and school administration and complies with all regulations of Manitoba Education. The school year calendar is required to be submitted to Manitoba Education, I want to say imminently, next week, right?
Yeah.
So we have before us the recommendation that the 2024-2025 school calendar be approved as presented. So we have there the attachment, the calendar there in front of you. Can I have someone move that we Trustee Lawson, second. Vice Chair? So this is the calendar that we discussed 2 weeks ago, right? We voted on it and we asked the Superintendent of Education and Programming to revise the calendar in light of the 3 minutes a day, less per school day, and that the teachers would be able to meet and work at the grade level, at the district-wide, what is it, once every 2 months? Is it once every 60 days or once every?
times.
7 times a school year.
And it's 3 minutes more, not less.
3 minutes more per day, yeah, oh, right, good. So we did discuss this 2 weeks ago, but not all of us were here 2 weeks ago. So I'll open it up to discussion, or you want to move straight to the vote?
We can vote, and then if anyone has anything to ask, they can do.
I think it was a great presentation we had from our staff, and I mean, it's in the interest of our students by making our teachers better teachers. I think anytime we have our teachers and principals come to the board saying, hey, I think this is going to make us better and better for our students, I think we have to support that. I mean, obviously, I know one trustee's concern was parents, and we have got to make sure that we get this out to our parents, that they're going to have to figure out childcare or whatever they're going to do for their kids. I think of our snow days that we just had, right? I mean, they would have had to do the same for theirs. At least it's planned, right? So I'm in total support of it, and I can't wait to see I won't see the results, but I hope you guys see the good results at the end of this year or as it's ongoing. So,
Trustee Anderson, did you want to speak to this?
Yeah, I actually did want to speak on this because I believe it was 3 or 4 years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, Michelle, for local choices, local voices, when three trustees in Thompson, we fought the government so that we could have local choices and local voices, and that is us. So with that being said, I asked a few parents if they were even aware of these possible changes happening tonight, and no parents that I asked were aware. I just think this is a drastic change. As me being a single parent previously, this change would have been catastrophic in my household. Because I had a child in elementary and I had a child in high school. Therefore, the high school isn't getting out, it's just elementary. Then I would have had to find a babysitter for these extra days. Like, I just think I think we should have went to the community. And I'm not saying that because I'm opposed to training our teachers and getting them up to speed on everything they need to be, because that's not the case at all. I do agree with the training, and I do think that the teachers do need this, but I think the community needs to be a part of this vote. But that's just me.
Anybody else want to speak to this? Trustee Humby, you weren't with us last meeting. Do you have any questions or?
No, I mean, it came up in our education and programming committee meeting, and I feel like I was well brought up to speed.
Okay.
correct me if I'm wrong, this is a pilot, right? It's a pilot program. Yeah.
And there's actually a request.
Tonight at Education and Programming that there be an interim report prior to us doing the schedule for next year, just to see how it's going.
Yeah. So we could have the Principal Harwood come in a year from now and debrief us on how it's worked out. And
It'll have to be before
it would have to be before, probably,
before our calendar is.
yeah,
January, February.
a year from 2 weeks ago. Somewhat, yeah. How about you two? You good?
Good.
Okay, let's put it to the vote.
I'm gonna call for a recorder vote.
Okay, let's record the vote. Trustee Anderson, how do you vote?
I'm opposed for all the reasons that I've already stated.
Okay. 1 nay. Trustee Humby?
Yes.
In favor.
In favor.
Okay, we have 4 to 1 in favor. Carried. Trustee vacancy. Trustee Lawson has submitted his letters of resignation effective June 28th, 2024. Planning for the by-election is underway as per Section 26 of the Public Schools Act. We have in front of us a motion that funds from the operating surplus shall be used for the 2024 by-election to fill the vacancies. Can I have someone move the motion?
I'll move.
Vice Chair, second. Trustee Humby. Any discussion on this? Sure.
If I may.
Yep.
So, in case anyone on YouTube hasn't been following, my wife and I are relocating down south. So this isn't anything political. It's nothing against the board or staff. It's just a family circumstance. I wish and I hope that the board fills this position quickly, as there's a lot of business that the board is to be doing. And if, say, you have a June election, it gives the summertime for that trustee to get brought up to speed. So, but it's been a great 2.5 years, 2 years, and yeah, I hope that my replacement is a good democratic person who has the interest of the students and staff at heart. So, thank you very much for the opportunity, and working with you guys has been a blast. So,
Super. Well, thank you for your service, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I'm just wondering, is there any way before we go into a full by-election that we could put a feeler out to see if anybody's even interested in running for the position? Because if we don't have anybody that's interested in running, we need to hold the election and spend the money.
The Public Schools Act, we have to proceed with the by-election.
the only thing I don't have to is if it's within a year of election.
So, yeah, if there was one term left, then we could go ahead status quo, but because there's, well, over 2 years left in the term,
Yeah.
so. But there's no way around the election.
Better.
And of course, I mean,
If there's only one, then it's a claim.
And it would be a claim, but there still will be expenses incurred. Generally, we split the election costs with the city of Thompson. Should they end up having a vacancy at the same time, we could share the cost. Otherwise, this is a total district cost right now, so it'll probably be about $85,000.
Is there any financial benefit of using my travel allowance for this and not coming out of accumulated surplus?
It would be the same.
Yeah.
If your travel is not used, it rolls into surplus, so it's still coming from the same pot.
Yeah, $85,000. It's a teacher.
Any other discussion before we move to the vote? Okay, all those in favor?
I don't think I can vote.
Yeah.
No.
That's okay, the ayes have it.
Well, I'll abstain.
Unless you want to take it back.
I'll abstain.
Okay, good. Thanks, everybody. And thank you again, Trustee Lawson, for your work. Correspondence 12.1, Manitoba School Boards Association. You have there in front of you the flyer for this past week. I'll just take a look quickly. Okay.
So they changed their student citizenship awards, eh? Because it used to be with the with MSBA convention,
You're
right? So they've changed that. I'm just wondering, notify results. They will it's already been, no, they're just updating. So they've all been, the nominations are,
Yeah, I think if I remember the last convention last year, they said some parents were disappointed because they weren't able to come because they were at work, and they thought, well, if we do it at the school level, the school can decide the time and the place around the parent schedule. You know, if it's on a Friday afternoon when the stuffy trustees are at the convention center, parents can't make it to see their children. You know? Yeah. Okay, 13, committee reports. We'll start off with the policy committee. That's Trustee Sharker, isn't it?
We have a meeting next week.
Okay, we'll table that then. 13.2, education and programming committee.
That is me. Education and programming met today at 5 p.m. We received a district literacy presentation from Kaylin Weber and Terry Anacito. They presented on some of the initiatives that are taking place to support teachers with professional development and learning. They also shared some of the work that they're doing to increase access to Indigenous-based resources in education. Some of the program outcomes for their literacy work includes facilitating early literacy intervention services across the district, so the 6 elementary schools across the district, which includes small group intervention to support students who struggle with literacy. So it was nice to have them come and present. It was really informative and nice to see some of the amazing work that's taking place in the schools around literacy. We had received an off-campus programming update, so the junior high program update was provided to us. So the program will target junior high students who have not been successful in school. The program goals will be to improve interpersonal relationships, improve mental health and well-being, increase life skills, increase problem solving and anger management skills, improve school attendance and school performance, and improve relationships with peers and supportive adults. So there was some description discussed, some staffing requirements, and so there is kind of more information available to trustees if they would like the full report. We also reviewed the job description for the mental health and wellness coordinator. The cultural proficiency position is currently vacant due to reassignment for coverage. And we also reviewed the nutrition program funding. So like Lori said, we saw kind of the template of kind of how the funds will likely be dispersed once we get all the numbers in. Any questions?
Any questions? Okay, hearing none. 13.3, Public Relations Committee.
We have not met, and our next meeting is to be determined.
Okay, 13.4, Finance Property Committee.
Yeah, so we met this last Tuesday. Was a light agenda. We revisited our committee terms of reference, and we have sent it to policy. So, other than that, our next meeting will be the 14th, May 14th.
All right. Any questions for the finance? Okay, hearing none. 13.5, are there any other committees that have met?
AHEC.
Okay.
So AHEC has met on April 17th, and it was more or less just to finalize some preparation for our youth forum, which is taking place this week, which is Thursday, April 25th at the Mumuitak Friendship Center. So it's just finalizing kind of organization of the day and getting ready. So we're excited. I will be there. Yeah.
Are you going to that?
I'm actually out for framework programming.
Okay. Okay, 13.5.1 City Liaison, we will have to table for next meeting because we're meeting next week with the city.
Yes.
Yeah, meeting is scheduled. Okay, great. Item number 14, trustee comments, is that so?
Alrighty.
8 o'clock, no, it is what it is. Trustee comments. Trustee Humby, you want to start us off?
Sure thing. So I judged the regional science fair on April 5th and 6th. And I just want to congratulate all the students on their amazing projects. It was really great to get to see a lot of their hard work. And I just want to say congratulations to Japjit Rakmo, who did a fantastic job presenting to us tonight. I was really blown away, not just with his project, but his ability to articulate himself and explain it. And he was phenomenal.
Very
So thank
passionate.
you and congratulations, Japjit. Also, last week was Education Week, so I just want to say a huge thank you to all the staff for all of their hard work and dedication.
Did they have the pizza parties?
They've had not, well, it's been,
Like it's been all
Oh,
of them.
we lost
Yeah.
those 2
And
days.
some of them,
Ah.
some of them we lost Thursday, Friday. So
Yeah.
some of them are pushing it into this week. But it was like it's been huge.
The reception's
Oh yeah,
good?
big time. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't get any invites, so I'm not sure.
You're a teacher. You're a teacher, but not a teacher for.
Trustee Young. Oh, Trustee Lawson. No.
Wow.
We did sorry. Well, you're out.
Yeah. Just on the lunch, Sherilyn texted me. She goes, "Oh, it's food lunches on the trustees today." And I said, "Yeah, that was the plan." So they I think it was a good meal. She sent me
Parker, did
she sent me a picture. Yeah, it looked good.
What did they end up getting?
Food. Yeah, it was So I met with Riverside Parent Council today. That's why I was tardy, although Mervat beat me. So they didn't have quorum, unfortunately, but it was still a good conversation, good meeting. I noticed that a lot of the parents are also employees, so it adds a good dynamic. What's the rate? Like half the parent council would be.
no, it's only one,
Isn't it?
one person.
Okay, isn't Amanda?
Amanda is one, yeah, and then Ashley is the parent council president, but
Yeah.
she's not employee at our school, that's why she.
Oh, but of the district, I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of things that the staff and students are involved in. They did bring up a custodial issue. I think they said they were trying to get the parent who was responsible to write the letter to us, just informing us and talking to us about it. I don't think it's anything major, but and I just had said, please, your next meeting, let us know. We'd love to come by, and I reiterated the importance of parent councils, and how we are better with them around. So. It was good. Yeah, I unfortunately I had to leave. I wish I could have stayed. So, yes, and I just want to reiterate the Education Week. Our teachers in this province work very hard, and as we saw in our mental health report, COVID's been very tough to them, and I don't think you can just throw money at the issue. I think it's a culture thing, and I know that we do our best to improve our culture. So kudos to them for doing what they do.
Trustee Young.
Now it's your turn.
Yeah.
I just want to say after our snow event that I noticed that our maintenance staff did a pretty good job of getting things cleaned up. I know that they were kind of had their hands tied behind their back with some of the equipment, so I think they did as good of a job as they could
They were up
possibly.
to your standard?
They did as good a job as they possibly could do with what they had to do it with.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
kudos to them for getting out there and getting us cleaned up, because I mean we were at a standstill, right? So.
Yeah,
That was
That Thursday was crazy.
and good call. Both days. Both days. Yeah, good call. Yeah.
I thought, oh, am I jumping the gun here? It's April. But that's
Lots of conversation on Facebook about when was the last time
Yeah.
it snowed? So yeah.
We had 3 probably. When was that? 2017. Yeah, we had
We
3
couldn't get into
that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean that was
Oh,
the week,
27th.
the week before March break is when that one happened,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you weren't gonna
The whole
get
city was shut.
you weren't gonna get temperatures that was gonna when it did subside that were gonna get high enough to like the situation we're in now where it's melting.
Oh, great. Vice Chair?
I do have one. I want to say thank you to the Lions Club for their generous donation to our Trojan soccer teams. They purchased new travel bags and jackets for them, and the donation was over $7,100. So thank you.
Wow. Super great.
And we had to reschedule the badminton
Oh, yeah.
zones. So this coming, so they just turned, everybody was great.
It's like, okay, we'll do it next weekend. So we're ready to roll this weekend.
Was Churchill in Thompson already?
I don't know that. I know that Moose Lake was in transit.
Yeah.
And they very like not far out of
Yeah.
Moose Lake. Grand Rapids didn't leave. There was a couple others. I'm not sure. There was somebody else that I thought was supposed to fly, but I was thinking I don't think they're flying in this, are they?
I thought they were on the train when I left already, so.
Yeah, I never heard that they did come.
I don't know how much you can do, but.
Trustee Anderson?
Actually, everyone already mentioned everything that I was gonna say, so I'll just echo everyone that went before me.
Super. I had a really good time, not last Friday, but the Friday before at the R.D. Parker for the middle school years with mental health. That was fantastic. It was great to see that the middle school years from all across the district were invited to the high school to do 3 sessions over the afternoon on mental health, and some of them were doing craft, and some of them were doing more info sessions, and some were doing more physical, kinetic activities. The students were wonderfully behaved. There was food put on. The staff did a very good job facilitating the workshops. Thank you to the RCMP for having a session. I think the Northern Regional Health Center was there. So thank you to all the stakeholders and the different partners who helped to make that mental health afternoon at R.D. Parker a success. It was a great success, I thought. Yeah, and I really enjoyed that. Item number 15, questions from the public.
I have 2 cookies and thank you instead of questions. Is that okay?
Sure.
Absolutely.
We would like to thank Ms. Bartlett for being ad hoc committee for supporting new teachers. We greatly appreciate that and so a lot. And the second is a huge thank you to Ms. Bartlett and the school district for school closure for the 2 days, for the safety of students and staff. That is huge and we really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
I can do a lot of things, but I
And make that snow happen. Yeah, as much as I'd like to think I am there.
I was trying to convince her to keep the kids home, but have the staff come in anyway. But she said, no, better let the staff stay home too. I said, okay, I'll back up.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I struggled a little bit. That was heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, nobody was traveling on that Thursday. That was terrible. Yeah. Wonderful. Can I have someone? Oh, we don't have it in camera, do we? No. Okay. Can I have someone move that we adjourn? Trustee Humby. I don't think we need to vote. Okay. Good. Trustees are going to stay behind and have a short little meeting. Trustees only. But thank you for everybody for fantastically expedited session. That was great.